Okay, you guys seeing me now? Let's see. Sparky says, okay, now here we go. All right, I'm going to go back to my opening act here, folks. So, here we Well, good evening, folks. Now that everything's working right, I really hope you enjoyed my opening act. That's my buddy Craig, the world renowned musician, and I always wanted to have him as my opening act. So thanks a lot, Craig. And like I said, I really hope you guys all enjoyed that. We got quite a few people in here tonight, and I appreciate that. Thanks, everybody. Let's see who's here. We've got Sparky, James Galton, Steve 87th, Heath is here, Ray is here, Chuck from CDP 1965. I saw my godson, JJ McGuigan. I think JJ can attest for how good Craig is. Heath is just saying, Mike, are you guys not hearing me again? Okay, thanks, Heath. All right, I was saying JJ can attest to how good Craig is. JJ's currently taking guitar lessons from Craig. Let's see, who else do we have here? We have Bob from the PK and W. Good to see you, Bob. Jerry Satz is here. Hey, Nathan, good to see you. Carolina Foothills Railroad, D. Knight. Hi, great to see you. Lackawanna Rail fan. Hi, Tyler. Sean McGee is here. Anthony Dodge, good to see you. Art from the PDRR Engineer. I think I said hi to Heath. Mystic Southern Railroad, John number 7, good to see you. Dave BNSF N-Scale, Dwight Curley, Rick Bailey. Let's see, it's saying there's 38. I don't think I read off 38 names, so if I missed anybody, welcome. Sorry I missed your name, but Ralph Greenwood, I know I missed him. Good to see you, Ralph. All right, so, excuse me. So tonight we're going to walk through an Arduino project. Let's see, Wimble Train just popped in. Hi, Wimble Train, good to see you. Steve 87th, I think I said hello to you. Steve Childers, maybe it's you I missed. Hey, Steve. So anyhow, tonight we're going to walk through an Arduino project that I've been recently working on with my buddy Craig, our opening act. Hi, Manny. So let me show you a quick video of what we're going to be doing tonight. This is on Craig's O-scale Christmas layout. Craig's also a model railroader, and he does have a primary layout, but he set this up for Christmas in his studio. So we're going to be working on the blinking bridge lights for the top of the Trestle Bridge. Let me get back here a second. So anyhow, several weeks ago, I was talking with Craig. Craig's been doing a lot of work on his layout, and he was talking about some automation that he wanted to include, mostly around Arduinos. So that bridge that I just showed you is a bridge that he has built several months ago, and he wanted to put some blinking lights on the top of it. Well, that really doesn't need an Arduino for sure. We could have done blinking LEDs, and that would have been fine. Just the LED resistors and hook them up to a power supply, and it would have been done. Heath, Craig does have a YouTube channel, but not for his model railroading. I've been working on him to start one, but he hasn't so far yet. So anyhow, the blinking LEDs, like I said, they would work, but they're very limited. They're just going to blink the way they're designed to blink. And what Craig and I were talking about was something a little bit more flexible. Most of the bridges, at least around here, that have blinking lights like this, they don't just blink at a steady pattern. Most of them that I see blink twice, then a pause, and then continue to blink on that pattern. So that's one thing that I wanted to include. But Craig also wanted the ability to switch between red and green for Christmas. Carl Braun, welcome in. Good to see you. Sorry about that. And Manny, I think I said hello to you, but if I didn't, hi. So anyhow, he wanted to be able the lights to alternate between red and green. And as we talked about it more, we came up with more color patterns. So there's the standard color pattern, which is just blinks red constantly. And like I said, it'll blink twice, pause, twice, and then pause again, and continue on that pattern. It'll also alternate between the red and the green, as you saw, and you'll see again later as I show you the final result. But there's also another color pattern that I have in there, and that is a patriotic pattern for Independence Day, Memorial Day, that sort of thing, and that's red, white, and blue. This is really flexible. Excuse me. It's really flexible. And we can add any color patterns that Craig wants at any time. So now I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to get into the code tonight. There's a couple reasons for that. The project isn't finished. The ability to switch between the color patterns is going to be handled by just a standard IR remote. And I do have all the code written for that, and it's working. Unfortunately, both my remote and Craig's remote, the batteries are dead. So we didn't finish the project, and I won't finish that until he tears it down off of his Christmas layout and takes it back to his primary layout. The other reason that I'm not going to go into the code tonight is it's a little bit more. Steve Childers just said good, no code. Actually, Steve, I'm staying away from the code just for you, buddy. No, really, the code is. Don't worry, Heath. I will be doing a video complete with all the code that I'll walk through it in detail. The code that I've written for this it's a little bit more complex than most of the code that you see for examples and tutorials and that sort of thing. And it does use some slightly more advanced programming concepts. I've been writing code for many, many years. So when I get into that, I really want to take the time and explain what I'm doing so that it makes sense to everybody. And I think that would be kind of dry for a live stream, and not just for Steve, for a lot of people. So I will be coming up with a video, probably a couple videos, a series of them, in which I'll go into the hardware a bit more, and also in detail in the code. So one of the considerations that we had when we talked about this project is Craig wants to be able to move the bridge. Right now, it's sitting on his Christmas layout in his studio, but once the holiday season's over, he'll take that layout down and move the bridge back to his regular layout. So we could have just soldered all the leads for the LEDs and everything else that we need directly onto the Arduino, but that would make it a little bit less flexible and tougher to move. I know that where he's going to put it on his main layout, the positions are different than where it is on his Christmas layout. So I wanted to leave him the flexibility to be able to move it around as he needs. So I decided, let's see, you're telling me that the 45-minute sections of my Arduino where I do code is boring? I did not say that, Jimmy. In fact, I love them. But I think we'd be putting people to sleep here tonight if I tried to do that live. So anyhow, rather than soldering everything directly to the Arduino, I decided that I would put the Arduino and some connectors onto a project board so that now Craig can simply unplug them and plug them back in. Dave P., welcome. How are you tonight, sir? And Craig can simply unplug it, plug it back in, when he wants to move things around. So for this project, I decided to go with an Arduino Nano, primarily for the size, but it's certainly capable of handling this project and projects much more complex than this. So now I'm going to switch over to a slideshow here, and I'll walk through what I did for this project. Digger Evans, welcome, my friend. It's kind of late for you. It's great to see you. Cameron from Caboose 121, good to see you too. So like I said, I'm going to switch over to a slideshow now, and I'll walk through what I did. I did shoot video for this, but I shot it with my overhead camera. Yes, Jimmy, I love the Nano too. It's great for the size. It's incredible. I did shoot it with my overhead camera, but which works real well for modeling. For electronics, though, I learned that I need a different camera position because my head was in the way and you really couldn't see anything. So we'll have to go with the slideshow for tonight. So let me get this up. So what you're seeing now, let me get it up so I can see it. Okay, what you're seeing now is the completed project board. Well, actually the completed project board to this point. Since the batteries in the remotes didn't work, I don't have the remote receiver on here, but that will be added once we finish this project. So you can see here is the Arduino, and it's been soldered to the project board. And I've also included connectors, so Craig will be able to just plug in and plug out the wires for the LEDs. So let's see, where are we here? All right, so this set of connectors, there's 4 of them. The project was designed for 4 LEDs, one for each corner of the bridge. But while I was working on this, Craig was working on the LEDs and putting some longer wires on them and adding resistors. And in testing it, he decided he preferred having the 2 lights, one on either side. So that's fine. It'll work just as well with 2, but he could always add 2 more if he wants to. So this set of connectors is for the reds, for the LEDs, for the greens, and for the blues. And this set of connectors over here will be for the grounds. And I also added in some, let's see, a screw-in connector so that he can plug the wires right in here when he goes to move it. I also color-coded. I color-coded the connectors. You can see the red, green, and blue there, and the red dot on the screw-in connector is for the parents. For the parents, I just read Steve's comment, I'm sorry, is for the positive. Okay, the red LEDs will be connected to digital pin D3. The green LEDs to D5, and the blue LEDs to D6. Pins D3, D5, and D6 are PWM pins. That's pulse width modulation. What that means simply is that it's a digital pin, but you can use it as an analog pin. So you can send any value, from 0 to 1023 through a digital pin, just like you can an analog pin. Since we're dealing with RGB colors, we're dealing with values from 0 to 255 for the red, green, and blue. So we need more than just the 0 and 1 for digital. There are other PWM pins on the Nano. Most Nanos have them indicated with that little tilde that I put here before the D. This one doesn't. But there are plenty of pinout diagrams for the Nanos that you can figure that out pretty simply. Okay, so let's see what's up next. Okay, then I also you can see here where I ran the grounds for the LEDs to the GND pin on the Arduino. And here's the power connectors. The positive comes from the screw-in connector to the VIN, and the ground comes from the screw-in connector to the ground. When I was using the project board, what I have highlighted here is the columns and the rows of the holes have letters and numbers to identify them, which really makes it a whole lot easier because all of the soldering I'm going to be doing from the underside of the board. So I made notes of where I wanted the connectors, and it was a whole lot easier to find them when I turned the board over. Okay, so here's the bottom of the board. Excuse me. Here's the bottom of the board showing the Arduino attached in the center here with all of these pins, and then thin wire that I ran out to connect to the pins for the connectors for the LEDs and the ground and the power. So what I'm doing here, this is, let's see, Bob wants to know, can we see the underside? Okay, that's what I'm showing you. Okay, good, Bob. All right, now what I just put up here is an overlay of the Arduino. I mirrored the image so that we can see the pin numbers. So you can see here the red LEDs are still connected to D3. Greens to D5, that's upside down, I know, but it does say D5. And the blues to D6. And of course the ground and the power are also connected. This was all done through strip connectors. They're strips of pins, female end on top, male end on the bottom, with the male end going through the project board, and then soldered to the holes, and then the wires run between them to connect them to the right pin on the Arduino. You can notice, let me back up here 1 second. You'll notice over here in the black, that's the ground for the LEDs. I did leave that lead a little bit long. I'm going to need to hook up the infrared receiver, and I'm going to need a ground for that. So I'll either trim it off if I don't need it, or I'll be able to connect it directly to that once I do hook that up. Let's see, and if I'm okay, so let me come back here. Okay, so that's it for what I have for the slideshow. After I hooked all of this up, I tested it. When I was happy with everything working, I then soldered the... Oh, come back here. Sorry about that. I soldered the Arduino back onto the pins. So at this point, like I said, Craig had been working on getting the LEDs ready. Let's see, Schuylkill River, what incoming voltage? He'll be using 9 volt. He can use 9 or 12 volt. Currently, is hooked up to a 9 volt battery, but when he takes it downstairs, and I did say 12 volts, I'm sorry. When he takes it to his main layout, he'll be hooking it up to a 5 volt bus. So 5 to 9, actually, the Nano, I believe, will take up to 12, but certainly no need for that. Let's see. Okay, Steve says, okay, I have a plan. If I ever need an Arduino, I'll invite one of you Northerners down to Florida, free room and board. Hey, I could just do that in the winter, Steve. It was about 35 and snowing today, so I could go for some warm weather. Let's see, did I miss any other questions real quick? All right, so now here, let me show you a better video of, you're welcome, Ralph. Let me show you a better video of the lights installed on the bridge. Like I said, Craig took care of wiring up the LEDs and resistors, and for now, I don't know if this is permanent or if this was a temporary solution, but for now he just used some straws, which he painted black, to house the LED leads running down the bridge. I don't know whether he intends to drill holes or not, but that's what he's doing for now. And sorry about that, Jerry. When I come out with the video, maybe it'll make a little bit more sense. So here's the bridge finished up to this point. Like I said, there's no infrared receiver on there, so he can't change the color pattern. But it's on his Christmas layout. It's in his studio, and he's really quite pleased with it. So am I. Scott Eric Catalano, good to see you. Paulville, Grovemont, and New Jersey, good to see you. Midsummer Railway, N-Scale, I believe your name is Greg. It's good to see you. CP368. And Ian from Lehigh River Subdivision. Good to see you too. So like I said, this is the bridge as it sits right now. You can see the color alternating between red and green. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, smoking trains. He has nice. He has some really nice O-scale trains. That's his Polar Express, I believe it was, and he's got some really nice smoke units with him. I love his layout. I wish he would. I wish he would start posting some videos on the layout. He's got it's. I think it's about 8 by 12. It's just you walk around. You can walk around all four sides. But he's got 3 or 4 tracks running in there, and he also has a slot car track set up running around the outside of the train layout. And him and his son will also go down there and get the trains running and then race the slot cars. So that's got to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Heath asked if the blinking pattern is randomized or it is no, it's programmed out. It blinks twice, about a half a second apart, and then I'm sorry, about a third of a second apart, and then there's a 3/4 of a second pause. That's all set up with variables, so we could change that at any time. If you wanted to speed it up or slow it down. So Steve 87. So does this mean the Bridge Guys Volume 2 putting on prototype lights? Well, you got to talk to Rick and Ray and JD about that, I guess. Let's see. Any other questions here? Let's see. I use NeoPixels with an Arduino, so you can an amount of LEDs. Yes, I've heard of them, Greg, but I've never used them. Let's see. I'm definitely going to look into them, Greg. I like I said, I'd heard of them, but I hadn't used them. Dave BNSFN scale, sparks flying, then smoke. I don't think there was any sparks there. I hope not. I'm sure Craig hopes not too, with all that stuffing he has around there for snow. That's actually the layout that I featured on my Christmas video. So if anybody saw that, yes, it is somebody else's video. I didn't shoot it. That was Craig shot that. I haven't actually been up to his house to see it. Heath wants to know why a project board and not just a breadboard. Most breadboards, the connections aren't positive enough. The wires will wobble in there, and I just didn't want Craig to be running around and having to constantly play with the connections. This way, everything is soldered in. The connectors that I used are very tight. The wire fits in there. There's no play. So he won't have any problems with it. Nathan wants to know if I use Digitrack or NCE. Right now, I have not fully converted to DCC, but I'll be using DCC++. Let's see. All right, JD cheated and wrapped his LEDs around his bridges. All right, well, that works. Be a little bit more obvious, I guess, in O scale, which is why Craig used the straws painted black. Ken Amos, good to see you. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see. Okay, Grandpa Rose. Did I? Sorry, I'm just checking to see if I missed any questions here from anybody. If I did, they scrolled back too far, so sorry. The project really didn't take long. It's a little tedious soldering all the wires onto the bottom of the project board, but it probably took me maybe 20 minutes or so. And like I said, I have to change my camera angle because my head was bent over and you couldn't see anything but the back of my head. Bob, no, I won't be doing the programming live. I'll be putting out a video. It'll probably be a two-part video. One with the hardware once it's completed with the infrared installed, and then another one with the coding. And I'll go into a lot more detail with the coding, and explain to you what I'm doing. Because like I said, there are a few more advanced programming concepts in there. Flashing lights would on bridges would help with a micro drone. I don't have one of them. Let's see. Heath wants to know if I wrote the code from scratch or if I modified some. No, it's all code that I've written. I've been writing code for better than 40 years. I've written commercially sellable programs. I have written literally millions of lines of code in at least 15 different languages. I have a dual career, and that's part of my career. I definitely will, Heath. I did record that, and that's screen capture, so my head wasn't in the way for that. Dave's Trains, good to see you. Randall, I don't know if I said hello to you earlier, but it's great to see you. But yeah, no, they'll definitely the code will include some troubleshooting and stuff that I did to avoid problems in the first place. Jerry, you don't get to see these blinky lights. Didn't you see the blinky lights? I can put the blinky lights back up. Heath, I actually started programming on punch cards. Hey, Corey, good to see you. I started programming on punch cards. That was for a very short period of time. And when I finished my my first project on it, I swore that I would never touch a computer again. That was a mess. Let's see, Bob from AutoWorks. You thought I was a tax accountant. That's half my career, Bob. I own the firm, and the problem with being a tax accountant is you're real busy for part of the year and not an awful lot to do the rest of the year. So how we decided to do it is my staff does most of the work throughout the year. I run the business, during the off season. Tax season, of course, I'm real busy, but I needed something to do in the off season, so I've written code. So I had a dual career. And let's see, John, how many 50s model trains do you have? Nathan wants to know. Well, let's see. I have 3 locos from 2 of them are from the 50s. They are O scale. They were my dad's. And I do have one right here. It doesn't run at the moment, but I'm sure it will. This is an HO scale GG1. This is from the early 50s, and no, Ray, it's not blackjack. It does look kind of dark, but it's number 4059. Bob, thanks, but my staff takes care of all that. That's fine. I'm happy to write the program, write the code in the off season. But this is an interesting GG1. This was made by Penline, and it's cast lead. The thing weighs a ton. The detail is absolutely incredible for coming out of the early 50s, and it's switch selectable from being track power or pantograph power. So who made this? This was made by Penline, and I actually found online the original paperwork for this model for when it came out, and it was $9.99 when it came out, and I think that was 1952. So I really do want to get that running at some cast lead. Don't lick it. You're right, Heath. I don't lick it, and I don't even handle it all that much. But it's a beautiful logo. Bob, yes, yes, they are brass pantographs. If I get it running, I most likely will not be powering it through the pantographs. I don't intend to run powered lines all around my layout. Let's see. Oh, thanks, John. 26. It really is cool. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful locomotive. Yeah, Digger. Heath did sound pretty authoritative with that. Like I said, it's really a beautiful locomotive, and I want to get it running at some point. But I got to get the rest of my layout up and running first. Possum Bio, hey Rusty, good to see you. Oh yeah, actually the pantographs. I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera here. Let me see if I can get this light over here. If that helps. Probably not. They are actually pretty shiny now. They could certainly be polished up a little bit more. But yeah, that's definitely on the list of logos that needs some work, and I want to get to them. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? I don't want to be missing anybody. He says that's why he glows. I guess the licking the lead. Yes, Heath. The pantographs do. There. I think you can see them raised there. Yeah, there we go. So yes, they do. They are functional. So back to Nathan's question. That's about all that I have from the 50s. I have a few, another O-scale loco from the 60s, and probably one HO from the 60s. Most of mine are from the late 70s and early 80s, though, which actually sounds like a real long time ago now. Dave, yes, I remember that when toothpaste tubes were made out of lead. Lead was a widely used product until they figured out it was killing everybody. Let's see. Why be getting the Rapido ones? Those things will tap up and down with the push of a button. Wow, I didn't know that, Chris. I doubt it. Actually, I probably wouldn't have any more GG ones. I have this one, and I do have one that runs, but they're really not that appropriate for my layout. I like the locomotives. That's why I have them. But now that you You told me the pentagraphs go up and down. That is tempting. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. Nathan said, "What inspires me to do my layout?" Well, it came from my dad. My dad, I mentioned before, set up a massive layout every year for Christmas. Took up most of the living room. The entire attached sun porch was 3 decks high, and that was really the main motivation. But as a young teenager, I lived not far from the Upper Marion and Plymouth Railroad, which was owned by the Allenwood Steel Company, and that's besides the acid pit. That's where we played. We played on the tracks. The ump parked there. They didn't have a yard. They parked their cars on their essentially their main line. So we were playing on the coal cars all the time and getting chased off of them, usually. So that's my motivation, is just all the fun I had as a kid with it. And I never really grew up, so I want to have that fun again. Let's see. I built my first layout like 20 years ago, which was a lot bigger than this one. But this one, I'm going to squeeze in as much as I can. So let's see. How are we doing? We got 50 and 35. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. JD says 48 and 33. I like my numbers better, JD, so I'll take mine. All right, there you go. Anthony's up there with 50 and 36. There we go. And so is Ralph. All right, you guys are all right. Joey says N-scale is going out of style anyway. Well, Joey, up until a couple weeks ago, I probably would have agreed with you. But I will be putting together a little N-scale display layout for my living room. It was going to be, it was just going to be a Christmas layout, but it will probably end up staying up all year round. And I did win an N-scale locomotive in Vinny's Christmas giveaway, and a caboose, an N-scale Conrail caboose, Sparky, in Rodney's giveaway. And Sparky, Nancy told me to make sure I kept it out of your hands. So I guess I'm glad it's N-scale. All right. Well, I'm still. Let's see. I do have HOSO. Well, yeah. You can, Heath. You can get a lot more done in N in a much smaller space. Yeah, Joey. I thought you had N scale, and that's fine. Just keep rousing Heath. That's what he's here for. And now I forgot what I was saying. I know what I was saying. I really haven't been doing too good in timing out these live streams, because when I was working on this for tonight, I figured it was going to take a lot longer than it has. So if anybody has any questions, anything else you want to chat about, I'm open. Let's see. White Wall Wheels 1 Hardcore MOH. Hey, how are you? Good to see you tonight. Z Fantasy Trains. I think I said hello to you earlier. If not, hello. I didn't have up my the scrolling schedule of live streams that usually shows up over my left shoulder there tonight, because there have been quite a few changes recently, and I didn't get a chance to get it finished for tonight. But I do want to talk about highlight some of the changes. On Track Tuesday has a new lineup. Unfortunately, Boxcar Benny from Creative Rails had to step down. So I'm sure we're all going to miss him. Benny always did have a good show. But I think the On Track Tuesday guys made a good choice. They got Robert from Flying Crow. Robert has sat in for On Track Tuesday once or twice, and he'll be taking over Benny's slot. So he should be showing up on the third week of the month, third Tuesday of the month. I don't think they shuffled their schedule around any. Wednesday night's changing a little bit. Sparky is going from doing an every week Wednesday night live chat to doing it 2 weeks a month. He's going to be doing the second week and the fourth week. I don't know what he's figured out for the fifth week yet, but I'm sure he'll come up with something. The first week, Community Roundhouse is going to be moving into the Wednesday night at 7 p.m. slot on the first week, where GFW Trains, good to see you. Welcome. Community Roundhouse used to be the second Wednesday at 6. We're going to be moving, starting in February, we're going to be moving to the first Wednesday at 7. Most of the shows will probably continue to be premieres, but we may occasionally go live now that we don't have Sparky breathing down our necks. Let's see, what else has changed? Let's see. All right, Heath. So, like I said, Community Roundhouse will be taking the first. The last I heard, Sparky was working on John from TSG Multimedia during the third week. I don't know if they've worked that out yet or not. That's what last I heard. That's what Sparky was working on. I guess if he doesn't, he'll find somebody else or maybe do it himself. I don't know. But that should be starting. I believe that's actually starting now. Community Roundhouse will be starting in February. But I believe Sparky is off the first Wednesday, and he'll be going, like I said, to the second and fourth weeks. What else has changed? Hey, most of you probably know that Heath has been doing a Friday morning live stream, Hangout with Humanity. Manny wants to know if I have any pics of my layout. I do have some video, Manny, and I know I really need to get an updated layout update video up, and I'll get to that very soon. Let's see. Yes, thank you, James. There is Third Rail Thursday, which is a relatively new show. It's Dave H88, Chris from Go Via or Go Home, and Mark from M&M Rails. They do their shows on Thursday, and I believe it's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. Let's see. Any other changes? Rodney has mentioned that he may start doing a regular Friday night live stream in addition to his Thursday night. He did go on last Friday at 7 p.m. to announce his winners, and he did mention that he's probably going to be doing that on a regular basis. Let's see. And let's see, of course, Sidetrack Sunday, we now have a permanent fifth week person. You guys saw him. He was our Christmas tree for the Christmas show. But Rick Bailey will be taking over the fifth week, so we're not going to be scrambling around to find a guest host 4 times a year. And Rick will probably be available if one of us needs to take a time off. So be sure to check out Rick Bailey and subscribe to him if you haven't already. And let's see, and I wanted to mention that not to forget, Heath is up for Sidetrack Sunday next week. You're quite welcome, Mark. I love Third Rail Thursday. You guys do a great job with it. Was I right, Mark? It's 8 o'clock, correct? But like I was saying, don't forget, Heath will be up next Sunday at 8 o'clock. I don't know what Heath's got planned, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. Heath usually comes up with something good. So let's see, we have a few minutes left. So you folks, please feel free to promote your channels if you have contests coming up. Steve 87, you get it. Sunday off next week. All right. And that's playing the wrong one. Oh well. So go ahead, promote your channels. If you have any contests coming up or anything special, any special videos or special live streams coming out, please let us know. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Go ahead and put it in chat and make sure everybody knows about it. We don't want to miss out on what everybody's doing here. Let's see. Let's see. Nathan's got 973 subs. Great. Bernard, John, you have a JMI Arduino layout using Wi-Fi. Opinion. Hopefully I can make it work. I don't know that I'll be using Wi-Fi. I haven't experimented with it yet, Bernard, but I do plan on it. I would like to, but it depends on just how reliable it is. So unfortunately, at this point, I don't actually have an opinion. If it works, I think it'll be great, but we'll see. All right, Tyler at Lackawanna Rail Fan is at 105. Congrats, Tyler. Grandpa Rail's at 639. Let's see. Nathan DeLay is going to have a contest at 1,000, and he's over 900. 973. So 27 more, and Nathan will be having a contest. So if you're not subscribed to Nathan, go ahead over and check him out. Let's see, who else here? Ken Amos has 109. Carolina Foothills, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's see, I have missed a bunch of people. GFW Trains has 2308. Bob from PK&W has 217. Sean McGee has 122 and picked up a few more after his CN 6167 series. Randall Ellison has no new videos until after being quarantined is over and done with. But good luck with that, Randall. We hope you're feeling better, and hope this quarantine nonsense is over quickly also. Steve 87th PSAP has 260, and he released 4 videos this week. Mystic Southern Railroad's at 215. Heath has 815. And he's grown more since he stopped posting videos than when he did post. So he might keep up the not posting schedule. Well, maybe that's telling you something, Heath. Let's see. Steve Childers, or Childers, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Steve, sorry, has 80. Ralph Greenwood has 455, nothing yet. And we're looking for a car barn, Ralph. Digger Evans has 941 and has a giveaway when he reaches 1,000. And Digger, that's not if you reach 1,000, it's when you reach 1,000. Let's see, Midsummer Railway N Scale DCC++ EX. He set up his mates 00, and they could control 2 tracks with our phones through Wi-Fi. That's pretty cool. Anthony Dodge has 740. Carolina Foothills put up a video of his pink foam empire. Yeah, we've all had them. Tyler from the Lackawanna Rail Fan has a 40-foot boxcar review coming out. Bob, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm glad you were here and glad you enjoyed it. Let's see. Lehigh River Subdivision has 500 contest video this week. As soon as the package arrives, Ray Boble's at 395 and 7 new videos scheduled to come out tomorrow. Ray's been pretty busy. James Galton has 116. Let's see. It's Childers, but everyone says Childers. Okay, Childers. I'll try to remember that, Steve. GFW Trains, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right, Ralph, good. I know I'm not the only one looking forward to it. Humanity's goal for the month is to have more subs than Joey Bootsick. And Cameron from Caboose 121 is going to try and get a cab view video up with a layout. That will be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Wimble Train has 165 subs, that is. Let's see. Oh, John 2618 has some switching and steamer videos soon. I'm looking forward to that, John. Fred Wild stopping in late. Hey, great you can make it, Fred. Let's see here. Mike McCarville, glad to see you too, man. Glad you can make it. Let's see here. Where am I? Hold on. Okay. Let's see. All right, Randall, February it is. We're looking forward to it, man. Okay, all right, folks. I think I'm gonna call this a show tonight. I really appreciate everybody being here and hanging out. Sean, thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all you guys hanging out. I appreciate my moderators keeping everybody in line. I know that a few of you guys get out of line without them. So let's see. All right, sorry, I got reading something. Anyhow, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you enjoyed this. I will get to work on the expanded videos for the Arduino and for the code, and I'll get them out just as soon as we can. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the next live stream.